Let's talk about how I lost fat by eating more and working out less. If you don't know me, my name is Grace and I am a certified nutrition specialist and a certified personal trainer. As some of you may know me from Instagram and TikTok, my name is Graceful Health and I share a lot of hormone balancing, gut health, and just everything that has to do with health, wellness, and fitness. So today I wanted to talk about one of the main questions that I get on my social media is how I was able to lose fat by eating more and working out less. So I have to take you back to the start of my fitness journey to kind of explain everything so that way it fits into place, and hopefully I can help some of you that were making the same mistakes that I did. So in high school was when I was an athlete. So I was playing sports, I was a swimmer, and this is when I started going to the gym. So I would go to the gym on my off days and I would just do straight cardio. And at this time I was kind of just eating like a high schooler's diet, not really caring what I was eating. I kind of stuck to like diet culture of trying to eat like low fat and sugar-free style foods. But when I got into college, this is kind of when my journey really started. So this is when I really started getting into strength training, weightlifting, and wanting to have that perfect body. So what I had always thought was that you had to eat super low calorie and do a ton of working out and cardio and strength training in order to get lean figure that I had always wanted. So I started working out at my college gym. I would start strength training and learning a lot more about lifting weights and strength training and cardio. So I got absolutely addicted to the gym in college. So I would start going for about 2 hours every single day, doing upper body, lower body, full body workouts, and just going for at least 2 hours every single day. And I was also doing an hour of cardio in addition to my 2-hour workout, either after my class or at night or just straight after my workout, but I always made sure to get that hour of cardio in after my strength training. I was also eating very low calorie because this is what I thought was going to give me those results. So I was eating probably lower than 1,200 calories, and I'm 5'10", so I'm a bigger girl, and I was also around 20, maybe 19, 20 years old at this time, which at that age, you need a lot of calories, and I was depriving myself of nutrients. So I was in the gym, 3 hours every day, eating super low calorie, and I never saw results, ever. So I was like questioning, why is this happening to me? I am working out like crazy. I'm eating super low calorie. My meals were just pretty much like crackers and veggies and just low calorie food options. And I was not getting enough protein at all. I was not getting enough nutrients, not enough carbs at all. I thought eating low carb was the best way to get to my results. So I continued this cycle for about a year, and then I discovered bodybuilding. This is something I never wanted to get into, but somebody did approach me at the gym and said I had a great body type for it because I'm tall and I have the dedication to do it. So I thought, why not? Let's see what happens if I do a bodybuilding competition. I see all those girls that do it are shredded and just look absolutely amazing, and maybe this is when I'll finally see results. So this is when I started learning about macros and how to eat enough protein. So I was starting to eat a little bit more protein, and I would count my macros, count my calories, and I was still eating super low carb, but finally starting to get some protein in. So this is when I really started seeing some muscle definition. I started gaining a little bit of muscle in my legs and upper body, not much, but just a little bit. And I started to kind of shred out, as if they would say, like starting to see that muscle just because I was starting to eat that little bit of protein. However, I was still eating super low calorie, and throughout the whole training of the bodybuilding competition, I was eating very low calorie, still eating a little bit of protein, but probably staying around 1200 calories. I started to lose a little bit of the fat that I never had lost when I was working out, 2 hours a day and eating super low calorie, but I still wasn't really making progress at all. I still was bloated every single day. I was feeling very fatigued. I wasn't feeling great at all. And I decided to pull out of the competition because I just was never seeing results. I just felt horrible, and it just wasn't a sustainable way of living, especially because I was in college and taking 5 classes at a time, and it just was not the right lifestyle for me. At this point, I was feeling really discouraged and just not knowing what I was doing wrong. So I was doing all the right things. I was working out, I was eating very low calorie, I was starting to eat protein, and still never seeing results. I still held on to fat. I still was bloated 24/7. I was very inflamed. My face was very puffy. I was breaking out like crazy, and I just knew that something wasn't right. So I started to look more into nutrition. So I started researching what kind of foods you need to eat in order to lose weight, what kind of diet is the perfect diet to lose fat. And this is when I fell into diet culture. So intermittent fasting, keto, paleo, low carb, low fat. I fell into all of those diets, trying all of them, trying to see what would work best for me, and thinking that these were the magic tool to get me to the body of my dreams. And spoiler alert, none of them worked. So the low carb, the intermittent fasting, all of those were just so much stress on my body because I was still working out maybe 2 to 3 hours a day, eating super low calorie, skipping breakfast and lunch, and just over stressing my body. So this is when I really decided to get more into nutrition, not following these crazy diets. And this is when I started to look into what nutrients you actually need in your body. So I started learning about fruits, vegetables, carbs, healthy fats, healthy protein, and what you should be eating on a daily basis just to be healthy in general. So I started incorporating a little bit more variety into my diet. So not just low calorie rice cakes with PB2, which is powdered peanut butter without the oil, it has no fat. I started eating real fats like avocados, nuts, seeds, getting a lot of good greens and a lot of carbs and different things into my diets that I was not eating ever. So immediately I started feeling better. I started having a lot more energy in the gym. I started noticing that my skin was clearing up. I started noticing the inflammation was going down a little bit. However, I was still feeling bloated, feeling like I wasn't losing any weight, feeling like I was still pretty discouraged on my body and not making progress. So this time I was starting to become a lot more natural with my health and wellness. So meaning I started getting off of like pre-workout and sugar-free drinks and protein cookies and all of these things that were labeled as low calorie and were just filled with a lot of like chemicals and stuff. So I started looking more towards natural stuff because all of the good healthy fruits and vegetables were starting to make me feel so much better. So at this time I decided to get off of birth control. So this is when my hormones took a turn for the worst. So I was on birth control for maybe 6 years consistently, and when I decided to get off of it, this is when my symptoms went crazy. So my skin absolutely broke out like crazy. My bloating was even worse. I was having headaches every day, fatigue, and just feeling absolutely horrible because of getting off of the birth control pill. So I really started to take my nutrition seriously, making sure I was getting enough nutrients throughout the day. This is when I really started deep diving into balancing my hormones. So this is when I really started looking into hormone balance and getting more healthy fats, getting in protein at every single meal, and just getting all of those good nutrients into my body that I really did need, that I was missing out on for all of those years. So just starting to get more of that into my diet, having big salads with healthy fats and protein, and just really trying to prioritize my diet. And I did start feeling a lot better. I started noticing my skin was clearing up, but I was still not eating enough for my body, and I was still working out every single day and still wondering why I wasn't seeing results. So I decided I needed to make a change. I still wasn't doing something right. I was starting to get all of these nutrients into my diet. I was eating protein and healthy fats and greens, and I still wasn't seeing results. So I started looking into my workouts. So at this time I was doing, the 2-hour workouts, HIIT workouts, cardio, all of this. And when I was doing my research into hormone balance, I started reading that a lot of times women need more lower impact and less stressful style workouts to help balance our hormones, especially if you are dealing with a hormone imbalance. Just trying to work with our cycle and when we have the most energy and when our body just needs those more low impact recovery style workouts. So I thought, I have a hormone imbalance. Let me just try this out. So I started following cycle syncing, where you just do more of like stretching, walking, recovery style when you're on your period. And then on the other days, you can throw in those HIIT workouts and higher impact, strength training, things like that. So this made such a difference on my body. So, I just started out with just not working out on my period. So I would do, just walking or stretching on my period. And then when I was off, I would get back into my normal HIIT workouts. So I noticed the inflammation and bloating going down a lot because of this. So I thought, you know what, let me try this in my every week workout split. Let me try adding one low impact into my weekly workout split. So at that time I was doing 5 strength training days with cardio plus 1 low impact. Then as I started to get more accustomed to this, then I would go down to only 4 days a week of strength training with 1 to 2 low impact style workouts. Then I went to only 3 days of HIIT training, strength training with low impact, Pilates, and walking on the other days. And my bloating went down completely. I started losing a lot more fat. I started noticing my skin clearing up, and I started noticing a huge change in my energy, in my fatigue that I was having, and just really starting to see these results, which was what is absolutely crazy from all of these years of me thinking that I needed to be in the gym 6 times a week, HIIT training, strength training, doing all of these crazy workouts, when in reality, my body was so stressed out. It needed these lower impact style recovery, maybe just walking, doing just stretching or things like that, that lowered the stress in my body that was causing all of that inflammation. So my body was absolutely adapting well to doing these lower impact style workouts. And then I really started looking into my diet. So at this time I was eating some carbs, I was getting in my protein, getting in healthy fats, but I still wasn't eating enough calories for my body. So I started experimenting with having a little bit more carbs here and there, having a little bit more protein here and there, and just trying to get as much variety as I could into my meals. So I really started increasing my calories slowly. So I started off with maybe 1,500 calories and started adding in about 100 to 150 calories every few weeks. And my body responded so well to this, especially to having more carbs, because I was depriving myself of carbs for so long. And once I finally started fueling my body with these types of good healthy carbs, good healthy fats, good sources of protein, my body was absolutely loving it. So all of those years of me restricting calories, restricting carbs, restricting so many different things, it was putting my body under a lot of stress, which was holding on to fat on my body because it wasn't sure when it was going to get the next amount of nutrients. It just was holding on to that stubborn fat because I wasn't giving it enough fuel. So if you are working out, if you are an active person, you need to fuel your body. And this is what I had to learn the hard way. So all of those years of extreme dieting, low calorie, low carbs, all of that, really my body just needed those nutrients in order to thrive. So once I really just cut back on the crazy workouts and the crazy restrictive eating and started eating the food that my body was craving and needed, this is when I saw everything fall into place and everything started to click. I started having so much energy in the gym. I was starting to see definition in my stomach, starting to look more toned, and just starting to see those results that I have wanted to see for so long. This whole time, my body was just screaming at me that I was putting it under way too much stress. Also, during this time when I was working out like crazy and eating super low calorie, I was in college, then looking for my first job, getting my first apartment. So on top of putting my body into so much stress from the diet and workout, life stressors as well, all of this combined into one was just putting so much stress onto my body, making me hold on to that fat, making me feel bloated, making me feel fatigued, and just not very good at all. So my tip to you guys is to just fuel your body with those good nutritious foods and do those workouts that feel best for your body. Your body needs some recovery style, some low impact style, walking, things like that in order to recover and release some of that stress that your body might be holding on to. So this is one of the most important things that I have learned throughout my entire health and fitness journey, is that we just need to feed our bodies, fuel our bodies, and this is the most important thing when it comes to hormone balance and losing weight and losing fat and just feeling better, looking better overall, and just achieving all of your health and wellness goals, is just fueling your body properly and knowing what workouts your body responds best to. So I would recommend trying out some Pilates or low impact or running or walking or things that make your body feel good instead of over stressing it with too much HIIT training or strength training or things that are putting way too much stress on your body. Now, I'm not saying to not strength train. Strength training is one of the best things you can do to build that lean muscle and help build up your metabolism and just feel better overall and get that lean toned look. So just finding that mix between all of those things. So eating enough food, strength training, getting those low impact style workouts, and just finding that right balance for you and your body is what is going to help you out the most. So I want to talk more about my hormone balancing story as well, because that was a whole different thing, dealing with hormonal acne, dealing with hormonal shifts, and just trying to balance those out through all the years and the tips that I've learned. So I will definitely be posting more about my hormone balance and everything I can do to help you guys, because I really wish that I had somebody helping me out along the way. So hopefully I can help some of you guys that might be in the same situation that I was. So hope you like this video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to follow along with me on my hormone balancing, wellness, fitness journey. And also be sure to check me out on Instagram and TikTok at Graceful Health. And I will see you guys soon.